number one, what you need to trust is your intuition, your gut feeling. Because when you look at a few pieces, what you learn and how passionate you are, that's what's going to save you from making a mistake. I've only seen vintage jewelry, especially our speciality is jewelry from the 40s, jewelry from the 30s and 40s. I don't know if you're aware, but Cartier, Van Cleef & Arpels, Chaumet, all these houses are today what they are because of the Indian Maharajas. Is when Cartier showcased all the jewelry they made for the Maharajas. So using old Indian stones, Golconda diamonds, fantastic Basra pearls, and the entire inventory was made for Kaputha royal family, Patiala, Maharaja Navanagar of Gujarat. So this is what they showcased. So today, if we've sold something for you, so say you're happy with us, you will tell 3, 4, 5 people, and that's the way it's grown for us. Also, we had this jewelry blogger called Richa Goyal Sekri. I don't know if any of you all have heard of her. And she came here. Yeah, so she's fantastic. We did 2 sessions with her, and after that we had about 20 or 30 people calling us and asking us to come and value their jewelry.
With us, we have Mr. Jay Sagar of, would you prefer to be with AstaGuru? He's a fourth generation, he's a part of the 4th generation jewelry business called Transukla Jewelers, managing things over there, but also associated with AstaGuru. Vintage Jewellery Specialist, very passionate about jewelry, diamonds, color stones, and it's for his expertise that he's especially associated with AstaGuru. So I would request you to give a big round of applause to welcome him. And thank you. And I'll turn it over to him for taking this session forward.
Right. So firstly, let me start by you are walking into the best business in the world. So there's nothing like the jewelry business. I started out very early. I used to go to our family store when I was 8, 10 years old. Help just be excited of being in the business. So I knew this is what I wanted to do from the get-go. So, like I said, welcome to the jewelry business, firstly. Secondly, congratulations to you guys, for the diamond thing. Good, very nice. And how many of you are from a jewelry background? Family businesses? Excellent. And is there something you learned from here in terms of, so now our business is not what it used to be. In terms of, back in the day, the jewelry business was based on trust. It was based on a word that your family jeweler would give you and you trust him for it. But now with the way there's simulants, there's different enhancements that people are doing, which is detrimental to the entire word trust, what the jewelry business is based on. So what you guys are doing is fantastic, because now you will be seeing things in the business which what you learn from here is what's going to take you ahead, which is going to save you from certain situations in the future. I mean, I never got to go to GIA because when I started out, I started work in 1997. And at that time, my cousin, my older cousin, he went to GIA in Santa Monica. And he was at the first jewelry career fair that happened in Santa Monica. And from there, he was picked up at Christie's. And today, he's head of jewelry department worldwide at Christie's. His name is Rahul Kadakia. He taught me a few things, what he had learned. And number one, what you need to trust is your intuition, your gut feeling. Because when you look at a few pieces, what you learn and how passionate you are, that's what's going to save you from making a mistake, from picking up stones, which a lot of times, so we as jewelers, we get to see jewelry every day. People want to buy, people want to sell. And at AstaGuru, I consult with AstaGuru. I handle their entire jewelry portfolio. So we do 3 auctions a year. You have people coming from out of town and saying, this is my jewelry. I don't have time to certify it. This is what it is. And back in the day, you could have taken it on trust. But today, one has to be sure. So there is a clause that we have that without certification, we won't put anything in the auction. this is where you guys come. With the knowledge that you learn, also what you pick up on the job is what is going to be your weapon, so to say, which is going to save you from certain mistakes. There are people who's going to want to take advantage. So my first experience with lab-grown diamonds was about 3 years ago. I'm not saying that I looked at the stone and I could tell that it was 100% lab-grown, but it was a sixth sense. What I know is diamonds don't have metallic inclusions inside them, right? So when I looked at the stone, it was fantastically cut, like it was made to look like an old cut diamond. Of course, because it being most lab-grown diamonds have type 2A, so it had the entire brilliance. It was old cut, it was mounted in an old piece of jewelry. But I saw that inclusion and I just thought that maybe I should get it checked. And it was a lab-grown diamond. So there will be instances that you guys will come across where what you're learning from here, what you see on the job, is going to be the thing that you can take your jewelry business forward. Now, what I would want from you guys, because I can keep talking about this, is if you all have any questions about the business, anything that I can help you with in terms of, maybe future, so we are going to be looking for future assistants at AstaGuru, maybe interns, who can come and help in the jewelry department. And learning on the job is the best thing you'll ever do. I learned on the job. Like I said, no textbook can teach me what I learned. In terms of, you have to realize you start at the bottom. No one is going to start as the CEO. No one's going to start as the boss of the business. You're all from family businesses. Believe me when I say, start at the bottom. I have cleaned showcases. I was the delivery boy. I used to drive my uncles around when they go see clients, carry trays, stand as an assistant. Please, this is how you learn. Start from the bottom and then grow up. Grow in the business. That's what it is. So growing up, I've only seen vintage jewelry, especially our specialty is jewelry from the 40s, jewelry from the 30s and 40s. I don't know if you're aware, but Cartier, Van Cleef & Arpels, Chaumet, all these houses are today what they are because of the Indian Maharajas. So if anyone says elsewhere, it is India that has put these places on the map because they just came to buy color stones. But when they came and they saw the trunks of color stones that Maharajas had, and they gave them, grants. They said, look, these are all the loose stones, make it for us. So when the 1920 exposition happened, the Art Deco exhibition, I think it was 1924 if I'm not mistaken, or 25, is when Cartier showcased all the jewelry they made for the Maharajas. So using old Indian stones, Golconda diamonds, fantastic Basra pearls, and the entire inventory was made for Kaputha royal family, Patiala, Maharaja Navanagar of Gujarat. So this is what they showcased. So before that, they were traders, they were dealers supplying to maybe a few European households. With India, with the color, the entire use of so many color stones is when these houses became very big. So yeah, India is the reason for a lot of stuff. Because what has happened is last year we had a lot of important clients actually coming to us and saying that, if this is what's going to happen to the diamond business, we want to sell everything we have. And it lost a lot of faith because it made people realize that what they had was worth nothing, which was very wrong, honestly. Because what we do is find old stones, old Golconda diamonds. Cannot compare to anything. So to a large extent, we had people, young people, moving towards vintage jewelry. Because they said, this has got charm. This is something which has got old material, old merchandise. I want to put money in this, I want to buy this. So yes, it did make a difference to us in a positive way, definitely. For me, lab-grown diamond is fake. So I'm the wrong person to answer this.
We should get a slow clap for that one.
Huh?
We should get a slow clap for that one, sir.
No, in the sense, look, come on, you're cannibalizing a business that's been there for generations, so to say. You're coming and saying that this is eco-friendly, Really, it takes more power to grow a lab-grown diamond than it does. They've actually done, so we had people, I was in Geneva for a talk, and they actually compared the impact. So more power for this. And end of the day, I'm so glad that the business have called it synthetic now. It's not called lab-grown. They've actually said that this is synthetic, it's a synthetic diamond. But also, that market has come down. And I feel there are going to be people who would want to wear lab-grown jewelry. It's fine, we're not judging. And it's like having a real Rolex and a fake Rolex. You get a best quality fake Rolex, what are you going to wear? I mean, you get I know for a fact, because I saw it at Christie's, this watch specialist showed me this watch. It was a $9,000 fake Rolex. Fake. But it's $9,000. It weighed the same, components were Swiss, but it was fake. So I guess the choice is yours. I mean, there are people who are going to want to wear this, and I think over the last 3 months, I'm seeing a huge change in the jewelry business in terms of natural diamonds. It's going up. So I think it's going to be parallel. A similar thing happened in 1960s with cultured pearls and Basra pearls. So cultured pearls came in. Suddenly people were like, these are fantastic, these are round, it's absolutely, uniform, we'll buy this. So it did affect the market, whereas cultured pearls did. And natural pearls are crazy in value. So I guess you'll always have things like this that come. Depends how you steer through it. So I started here in 2018, and AstaGuru is predominantly an art auction house. So they do very well with art. Jewelry was a brand new thing for them. So I had to bring a lot of stuff that I have at my store, or the service I give my clients, to them. Because for them, they didn't understand the concept of sending the jewelry to people's homes. Right. So they're like, we're an auction house, people come to us. I said, no, in India, people need to touch, feel, see. And jewelry is something that you always went to your family jeweler. I mean, I still feel, walking into a store or like a Tanishq or any of the standalone stores, people go there to buy small stuff. But the real serious stuff, you would actually go to your family jeweler. Why? Because of your trust, because of touch, like I said, touch, feel, see. So, yes, it is a challenge, but what I have noticed over the last year and a half is that more and more people are open to buying with us. Because we work on full transparency. Every stone is certified, every piece is certified. We get due diligence done on everything. I look at things, then we have a panel that also verifies what I'm saying. So it just makes the entire process easier for someone. That they know what they're buying is absolutely clear. It is what it is, it's not what someone else is saying, or it's not what we're saying what it isn't. So, but it's going to grow. I see huge potential. Internationally, we can't put jewelry for two reasons. One is import duty on jewelry is 27%. 27% is import duty, there's a GST of 3%, and there's a cess of 2%. So end, if we import the jewelry at this price, and we take 18% as a commission. If you buy jewelry from us, it costs you 18%, so it doesn't add up. So we get most of our stuff from here in India. Yeah, so we have a lot of pieces that are Cartier. We have a Gazdar, which was actually a store at the Taj in Mumbai. Gazdar used to take orders for Cartier back in the day. So we have a lot of Gazdar pieces. Surprisingly, we've had old Bulgari pieces. These are from Indian collectors over the people. So yeah, we have a mix. So the buyer pays import duty in his country, whatever that is. But we've had a few people asking. So far, no international transactions have happened. In art, we sell a lot internationally, but jewelry, no. It's a challenge, but it's fun. It's like going on a treasure hunt every day. A lot of times it's word of mouth. So clients, basically in our business, word of mouth is everything. So today, if we've sold something for you, so saying you're happy with us, you will tell 3, 4, 5 people, and that's the way it's grown for us. Also, we had this jewelry blogger called Richa Goyal Sekri. I don't know if any of you all have heard of her.
She
And she came here? Yeah. So she's fantastic. We did 2 sessions with her. And after that, we had about 20 or 30 people calling us and asking us to come and value their jewelry. So, yeah. But it is challenging. I mean, for me to find these lots, we have 118 lots for our May auction. It's taken me about 3 months to curate this, get this everything done. But it's fun. Yes, we certify everything. At a cost of the person who's giving to us, we certify everything. I was just actually telling them that GIA should do mounted jewelry certification. Now, because like I said, is a lot of times people buy the jewelry sight unseen. So we do good photography, certification, so at least everyone's confident that it's kosher. So anything that's about 50 years old is vintage. Anything that's 50. No, it's because of experience of what we've seen. Of course, manufacturing techniques, and a lot of times old Indian jewelry cannot really be made the way it's been done now. As much as when you think about it, that now you have CAD, you have so many advanced softwares, but I have seen a 17th century emerald hand carved. I don't think anyone can do it now. That's how it works. So that handwork is still rare. So we face that a lot. It happened actually last week. Someone, unfortunately I can't say the name, someone bought a necklace for 90 lakhs in Delhi. It was a Jarrao necklace. And I think that you in diamonds, you all must have learned about fracture filling in diamonds. Yeah. All the diamonds are fracture filled. Big, large stones. And in our opinion, the value is not more than about 30-35 lakhs. But they bought it from a very well-known store. It's sad because, end of the day, you want, yes, make your margins, but don't kill your client. So, 2 things. One is most vintage jewelry, has some sort of color stones. Mainly rubies, emeralds, and blue sapphires. So yes, there is a material cost. And depends on who the maker is. Now, if it's a vintage Cartier piece, you have to have, what we do for a value, for basic value for auction estimates, is we do about 15% over material value. Because we have to be low. Yes, it's worth a lot more when you're outside, but then that's about us getting people to come and bid for it, for the price to be taken out. Yeah, we see a lot of people coming to us. In auction, yeah, because it's also it's a thrill,
right?
To bid in the auction. Again, I'll give you a small example. In our December auction, we had a salpage, a diamond. It was about 100 years old, made for a royal family in Rajasthan. Simple salpage, wasn't very hectic. We put it at less than breaking value. And our estimate was 20 lakhs, and we had 3 people bidding for it. It sold for 1.2 crores. So, also it's the thrill. People want to bid. I had to actually pick up the phone and call up the client who's bidding. I said, listen, it's way more than what it's worth. I think you should stop. And she was sitting in Paris. She's like, what's your problem? I'm paying for it. We put it at breaking value. We don't do any margins, because see, the thing is, of course, it's a lot of convincing for a client. For you to trust me, that yes, I feel, again, there's no guarantee that the prices are going to go that high. So, we mutually agree on a price, and you should be willing that even if it goes at the low reserve, you should be okay with it. So that convincing is very important to our clients. Yes, it is a bit of a risk, but a lot of times the returns are phenomenal. Like we had, you should actually have a look at our catalogs, our old catalogs. We had a fantastic pair of Baju rings, which was set with old Golconda diamonds and Burmese rubies. Phenomenal work, handmade by, back in the day there was a jeweler called Nanubai Jewelers, who was the predominantly main jeweler for most of the royal houses. And I had to tell the client, I said, look, I'm going to take it at breaking value. And she thought I was crazy. She said, there's no way I'm giving you my piece, what if it sells for this? And I said, look, it's sitting in your cupboard, you have no cost to it. So you want it all of 3 times. give us a chance. So I put it for 70 lakhs and it sold for 1.7 crores. So it's also the people bidding are mainly art clients and they understand what goes. Fine jewelry is like a piece of art, and they understand and they bid for it. That's how price went up. The reach that we have as an auction house. Now, okay, you have a piece of jewelry, you think it's worth 1 crore of rupees. How many buyers do you think you can go to directly? Right? The thing about what we do is we make the clients understand that yes, it is a certain risk you're taking, but the rewards are good. So now, there's two ways of doing this. You as a private will go to your family jeweler, who's going to anyway offer you that price. We will offer you a slightly better price than what a jeweler would offer you, and then there's a chance that everything you win is yours. I won't say investors, but we have dealers. We have, so I think it was about 1.5 years ago that we had someone who's an art dealer, art trader, who I told him, I said, look, why don't you buy this necklace? It's a good value, buy it for your house. And he said, no, I want to just buy it for fun. And it was a fantastic Burmese ruby necklace, Burmese ruby and diamonds. And he bid for it, he got it at the low reserve price. It was a deal. After the auction, he sold it to someone in Delhi for 25% more. So, yes, you have those cases as well. No, so look, how it was earlier is, you say you have an entire estate of jewelry, which you've inherited, right? You would go to your family jeweler, that you know what, I have these pieces, can you help me sell them? Now, 9 or 10 times, they would say, okay, leave your pieces with me, let me see what I can do. And you don't know what he's selling them for. What we do is we have your entire inventory, certified, checked, all due diligence done, and are offering it to our entire collection of clients. So yes, it is I would say a large bridge, for giving access to the world, so to say. So we have dealers internationally who are very interested in our pieces, but we still need to figure out, see, India has a lot of restrictions with export, certain vintage pieces. Anything over 100 years cannot be exported out of the country. So that does stop us, but locally I think we're doing okay. So my personal favorite is this jeweler called Bhagat.
I was just thinking this.
Yeah. So he is being compared to Jar. I don't know if you've heard of Jar. Jar is from Paris. So I would say he's become a collectible for sure, his pieces. Yeah, definitely. So where we come in is we want to achieve that end price, and the way we can achieve that end price is by putting it really low. Putting the price really low. So let me put it this way. Vintage Bhagat, we had a pair of his earrings in our May auction last year. Emerald and diamond earrings. First time ever that Bhagat's pieces came for auction in India. The client must have paid 25 years ago about 10 lakhs. Value of the piece must have been 3.5 lakhs. But it's sold in our auction for about 30 lakhs. So still when you compared, if you have a comparable, so to say, what they paid, what the client paid for was still 15% lower than what they would buy at a Bhagat store. But the client was very happy who sold it, because you're like, you know what, I can buy something else. I can buy another piece of jewelry. So she still made a little bit of money on her things. So there's always a huge demand for Basra pearls, for old Colombian emeralds. So back in the day, they used to call the emerald Old Indian emerald. So it wasn't Indian. It came from Panjshir. Right? So Panjshir emeralds have suddenly got a huge jump in terms of collectors who want to buy these stones. Rarity, number one. And India being, I can very confidently say, one of the key points for design, for fine jewelry, fine taste, India always had that 400 years ago. And so there's a lot of stones which are coming out of India still, from privates. Okay, I'll tell you one story, which was, for me, this is my conversation starter with a lot of people. I was at my store. This was in, I think, 2001. And it was summertime. None of my, uncles or my dad, no one was there. I was just at the store, A client walks in, an old Parsi client of ours. And she said, I've found these stones. Are they worth anything? So I looked at it and I said, this is not just a stone. She thought it was glass. But she came to get some repairing done. It was a pink diamond. And she had no idea what it was. And it was a 7.5 carat intense pink stone. And she said, she came from Buriburi by train. And then she's like, I think I should take a taxi. I said, no, I'll drop you home. No taxi. And we sold the stone for her. So yeah. Like I said, this is the best business in the world. You have stories every day, So yeah. The US was the biggest market in terms of consumption. But for fine quality pieces, I still feel India. For fine quality. Mass produced, huge volumes is definitely the US. But unfortunately, that's not what I look at. So what gets me closer, what keeps me going is the fine jewelry segment. It's going to make a huge difference because automatically the landing cost is 31% in the US. So if you are exporting a piece of jewelry, realize that to sell that piece of jewelry, you're going to heavily have to inflate your cost, or then bring down your cost in ways that would justify a US person buying your piece for 35% more. So it's going to make a difference. But I honestly feel India, us as a country, we can actually grow our consumption or start thinking of us as a country where we can consume the stuff. You don't want to be dependent on it. Of course, exports is huge. But I think so far, a large extent is because we also are consumers. If there's a way of channelizing that consumerism in India, you're not dependent on exports. Vintage is cool, I put it that way. So we have surprisingly a lot of young entrepreneurs, and young means last week I sold something to a 27-year-old self-made IT lady, and she came to me and said, you know what, vintage is cool, show me something you have vintage. So I feel that trends keep changing, preferences keep changing, but it's end of the day, us as Indians have always thought when you have a little bit of money, you buy some jewelry. Thanks guys, good morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jay. That was a wonderful session. I'm sure there's a lot of learning that you all have got today from here. Thank you so much for doing this today. So, a huge round of applause for him for all the insights.